Today's video is a first impression video. The super lightweight paper that's made by Traveler's Notebook. It's part of the B-Sides and Rarities series. Traveler's company papers are very famous. A lot of people using the system, their system for a notebook, right? So today we're going to test out the paper. It says super lightweight paper, which is, I'm so intrigued. It's a passport size, all right? And it says here, paper in this notebook is even thinner and lighter than our lightweight paper refill. The paper itself does not allow for oil to penetrate easily, so it's hard to smear when using a fountain pen. The letters on the back of the page will sew through a little because the paper is so thin, which adds a unique look to the enticingly crisp paper. So it says it's blank paper, blank book with no lines, 128 pages, right? Oil-proof paper. So first is the color, right? So the first page is like that, okay? So this is not the actual paper, okay? This is the actual paper. It's this thin, right? It's this thin. It feels like tracing paper and even sounds like one, right? It sounds like those paper that you use to dab off facial oil, right? So color-wise, it's kind of creamy. So when compared to the Tomoe River paper, it's slightly more creamy. But when you compare, okay, this is the most cream-colored paper that I have, and it's from, if I'm not wrong, Rondia. I think it's their cream color. So it's less creamy, less cream. So I think it lies in the middle. Second, thickness and feel. We know how thin this is. It feels crispy. It feels like tracing paper. So I am sure it's gonna bleed through. I'm sure it's gonna go over to the other side. We'll see how that goes. As you can already see, it's so fine, it's so thin that you can actually see below. And then, right, let's start with the writing test. For writing test, I will use 5 different pens, right over here, and I'm using 5 different inks. I do feel like the inks, the paper is very, very smooth. So when you use very smooth nib, you might get some skips. Like for example, over here, like can you see the T, this part here? Because it's very smooth. When I write it, there's a little bit of like glaze over and the ink doesn't come out. You can actually see a little bit of sheen, especially on the Emerald of Chival, right? This one over here, okay, and on the Pine Forest, and there's a little bit of that shading over here. Shimmer wise, I don't really see that, okay. Maybe I didn't shake my ink very well, yeah. And over here you do see like the different colors in the ink. Like this one you see a little bit more of that brown, and here you get the green, and you can actually see that here as well. And this one too, and it doesn't look too bad. Like I can actually see the color. There is no feathering whatsoever, which is really good. And let's check for bleeding, right? Like, does it bleed? And no, right? It does not. Like there is ghosting. Like ghosting is actually seeing that same thing on the other side. There is ghosting, but there's no bleeding. Bleeding is when you see the color on the other side. So very amazingly, there is no bleeding at all. It does not go to the other side, right? Can you see it does not go to the other side? Hi, so this paper takes a while to dry. I used the J. Herbin Emerald of Chival using the Platinum Preppy Fine Nib. And it took about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So just remember, if you're going to use it, if you're going to write it with quite a wet nib, just leave it for a while, a few minutes before going into, like, you know, put your finger on it or like turn it to the next page. So this is an interesting paper to use, which I think it's very fun to use because it just breaks all these preconception you have of paper. Like, you know, the paper has to be thick to be good or to be of good quality, but no, like this one, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be that way. just wondering if any one of you actually have this paper as well. Share with me what you do with this. Okay, I think it's kind of fun to actually do like a doodle, maybe different layers. I'm just throwing in things, ideas and stuff like that. But let me know what you do. For what do you draw or write on this one? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.